Hello, welcome to another video. It's me, Stephen J. Just outside here today on my patio. Yes, I'm sitting down as this is the ground layout. And I had just finished running the Mamod Brunnel, which you will see running in the footage very shortly. I also want a chance to talk about it. It's right here behind me, pulling a rig of custom coaches I bought used. I think they're from a British make kit, but I'm not sure what the manufacturer was. But they're quite light and they're made of wood, and I hope you enjoy the video. So I'll go ahead and start out with this side here. As you see, is way a bit different than the way it comes from the factory. For starters, the drain steam safety valve. I moved the pressure gauge that was over here and put a stack Mamod steam whistle here to shorten the handle and put it on top of the banjo belt. That's actually 1/4 inch by 40, the thread pitch. So I just used the PM Research elbow, their siphon, and I don't know if it's a stock Mamod one or different from me roundhouse pressure gauge, but it definitely works there. You also notice here that this is a different steam regulator. There's a reason for that. As you notice here, there is a plug. I had accidentally broke the original steam regulator when I was using it. It was totally self-induced. I tried tightening up to not get leaks. It was very minor. I tried using Teflon tape, maybe now I did try using this little O-ring about number 2 size, number 3, and unfortunately the needle snapped in there and I was left with the handle. So I drilled it through and I tapped it for a 1/4 inch by 40 over there. That's a 1/4 inch 40 bolt. Although it's a bit of a bummer it happened, it does leave room for future expansion if I wanted to put another fitting over there. Maybe move the pressure gauge on the other side. Do a lot of different things. So let's go and move on to motor here. Now this is otherwise stock. I did unbolt the compression nut here and put Teflon tape underneath. Here this is an accident. I was just intending to make an extension to the oiler drain and I accidentally drilled all the way through. So I do apologize about the camera losing focus here. Just gonna put it back on track real quickly. There it is. And what it did here is I used some PM Research male-to-male adapters. One side is 3/16 by 40, and the other side is 1/4 inch by 40. Both of them are tapped and then soft soldered on using their plumbing solder, called silver solder, silver bearing plumbing solder, but semantics. Anyhow, I accidentally drew it to the other side, so I had to do the other side, and they had a union nut and soldered a copper washer and other ends that wouldn't leak. But on this side, got the drain. The original drain screw is very small and it's easy to break off. It's like a little M2 bolt. But this thing normally may require a pliers or wrench. So you just go ahead and remove it, and then you thread it in by hand, which can be a little difficult. Oh no, I spoke too soon. Other thing I did here is I took apart the motor and rebuilt it. I had issues with original studs. They were at M2.5, all the way very close to M2.5, so about the longest, I think they were 33 centimeter M2.5 bolts, and then put them all the way through, cut off the heads, and I have nuts at the end to make studs out of them. And what other things I wanted to do was put an exhaust pipe on here. The original is threaded, I think it's, oh lord, like M3.5, something like that. The same thread as the Octocraft pipe. I don't have the Octocraft engines anymore. So what I did is the same thing I did here. I roofed it, I carefully drilled and tapped it to 3/16 by 40. And there's a male 3/16 by 40 adapter. And originally just had the exhaust coming up like this. But after doing some work to it, and I realized that having a 90-degree bend here adds a lot of back pressure, and it would shoot condensed water out in the stack. And also, as you may notice, this is the canopy. I originally had moved the exhaust over here, and that's why there's a hole here. I'll have to fill that eventually, maybe. It means for just cosmetic. You could just leave it. It's not a big deal. That'll be for the time though. But anyway, back onto this regulator. And what the purpose of this is so that way it can drain the condensate straight down as it's running, and that does allow it to get going much faster because this is a piston valve and has no way to easily clear a cylinder. But by opening this all the way, which this was already open all the way, the steam and condensed water just shoot straight out. And instead of taking numerous movements of the flywheel, it takes maybe 3 to 5 just quick push like this to go ahead and get it going. And then you can shut it if you want to all the way. Don't recommend it because well, it depends on what you want to do. If you shut it all the way, it'll run slow because it builds a lot of back pressure, as you'll see on the video. And if you open all the way, then it's got steam shooting down here and a little bit putting out here. I do like having this here. It does help with draft, but you need to move the position of the stock burner, which I did. First thing I did was raise the boiler. I made some custom brass washers, as you can see here. And the other thing I did was I replaced the stock bolt on the burner, which you may or may not be able to get a clear picture of. I do apologize about this, trying to get towards nighttime here. But I'll lift it up and show you. That's the burner right here. I removed the original bolt, replaced it with another M2.5 bolt that was longer, and I put a nut underneath and also drilled a hole to move it slightly more to the center. I tried moving it about 1/8 to 3/16 of an inch beforehand towards the center, and then all the heat just goes up the stack. You don't want to do it. You want to do it just maybe 1/16 of an inch, just literally another hole closer towards the gas tank. Use maybe 5/16 or 3/32 drill bit, just big enough so you get M2.5 bolt through there. And I put a nut underneath the collar, which the burner rests on, and that made a big difference. Something I did very recently before. All I did was raise the boiler, and it was better, but it still had issues building and sustaining pressure, and the flames would come out through the sides through here. And now, since I moved it center and lowered it, it's far less. And it's pretty much most of what I had done, just sharing some of my experience with this. You see, it still did stall a little bit on this layout. So, because I do have some pretty steep grades, and it still uses pressure up faster. You can build it, but it's still a lot better when it was. And on a flat and level layout, none of those things should be a problem. And it should be able to chug along steadily at 10 to 15 psi, but I need at least 20 psi to get through that section, so I have to stop at the station here. Anyhow, I know it's getting a bit lengthy, so I hope you enjoy the video. It's quite bona fide. Got a whistle. Different regulator, and also has a regulator on the exhaust to control for steam to come down out through the condensation pipe or up through the exhaust pipe that exhausts right here, right next to the stack. It's a little hard to see, but it's there and helps build draft. And right now, the green safety valve should be blowing off. A little hard to see with the canopy on, but it's ready to go. Alright, all the way. Open the steam regulator all the way. That condensator regulator will keep running nice and slow because of the buildup of back pressure that it generates. Just cracked open just a little bit. Looks like it's good to install, but it's not. And there it is. Still completing his lap nicely at a steady pace. And it's at 20 psi now. It may stall the next lap if it does. I'll have to stop it there and let it build steam. But the other thing we can do here get a little more speed. To open up the back pressure valve, the condenser, and now let it run faster. So I'll have less draft. Just made it. Check the pressure. It's about 10. It's at least 20. Whoa. To get through loop, so. Oh, that's to go. That's to stop. I'm gonna stop it here and let build pressure. Alright. Give it a little bit of time here to build pressure. It's at 30 psi. So what we're gonna do here, I open up the condensate valve to drain out any condensate while it's running. It's not really a drain cock, all it is just a regulator that opens up this pipe, acts as this pipe here, rather than just going up through the stack. Now, as I close it and open just a little bit, it needs to open a little bit to run well, as this generates a lot of back pressure here, that T. Should be able to see right there. So what I'm going to do now, set 40. A signal, it means it's ready to go forward. Open this all the way up, and it's a little difficult to do with one hand. And maybe I opened up a little too much, because now it's running away. And really, mayday! And we lost the train.